What's up, Vikings Nation? Strap in, because today's Minnesota Vikings news is one of those rumors that refuses to die. The kind that grabs your imagination and won't let go. If you're a Vikings fan, you've probably already seen the whispers flying around social media, group chats, and timelines. The name at the center of the storm? Joe Burrow. Yes, that Joe Burrow. The Cincinnati Bengals franchise quarterback, the LSU legend, the guy who already has chemistry with Justin Jefferson burned into our collective memory. And even though logic says this is a long shot, hope has a funny way of overpowering reason in the Vikings universe. So today, we're breaking it all down calmly, passionately, and honestly. What's real, what's exaggerated, and what this would actually mean for the Minnesota Vikings if the unthinkable ever became reality. Hey Vikings fans, let's be real for a second. The idea of Joe Burrow in purple sounds insane. And that's exactly why it's so addictive. Late in the 2025 season, cameras caught Burrow looking visibly frustrated on the sideline in Cincinnati. And from that moment on, the rumor mill went into overdrive. Some fans jumped straight to extreme conclusions. Trade requests, burnout, even retirement talk. None of that has been confirmed by Burrow or the Bengals. But frustration plus a quiet offseason is all it takes for theories to explode online. And when you're a fan base still searching for the long-term answer at quarterback, every elite name suddenly feels possible, even if the odds say otherwise. The Joe Burrow to Vikings chatter didn't start quietly either. It surged late last week and instantly took over Vikings discourse, pushing aside normal off-season debates about free agency and the draft. One of the loudest voices was SI.com contributor Grant Cohn, who claimed Minnesota had serious interest in making a blockbuster move. According to his take, the Vikings want to jump right back into Super Bowl contention immediately. The alleged package? A massive one. J.J. McCarthy, Jonathan Greenid, and multiple first-round picks in exchange for Burrow. That's the kind of proposal that makes fans' hearts race and front offices sweat. Naturally, Vikings fans ran with it. The idea of pairing Joe Burrow with Justin Jefferson again hit straight in the nostalgia and hype centers of the brain. LSU fans remember what that duo did together, and Vikings fans imagine Jefferson finally getting a quarterback who could match his talent snap for snap, throw for throw, moment for moment. Emotionally, it makes all the sense in the world. Practically, it's a different story. But in the off-season, emotion always gets the first word. Then the rumor grew legs. Another site, Walter Football, added fuel by claiming Minnesota had indeed reached out to Cincinnati, only to be scared off by an extremely high asking price. Their report suggested the Bengals wanted multiple first-round picks, a defensive starter, and J.J. McCarthy. On the surface, that aligned with what Cohn had said, making it feel more real to casual fans. But here's where Vikings fans need to slow down and breathe. Walter Football is primarily a draft-focused site, not a breaking news authority, and their reports are often speculative rather than sourced reporting. This is where the game of telephone really matters. If Walter Football is simply echoing Cohn, then we're not talking about multiple independent confirmations. We're talking about one rumor being repeated until it sounds like consensus. That happens all the time in the NFL offseason, especially when a storyline is exciting. So while fans interpreted this as validation, the truth is far murkier. No confirmation from the Vikings. No confirmation from the Bengals. No confirmation from Burrow's camp. Now let's talk about the trade itself, because even hypothetically, this would be a king's ransom. Joe Burrow is a top-tier quarterback when healthy, and teams do not give those away. For Cincinnati, the price would start with multiple first-round picks. On top of that, a premium defensive player like an edge rusher makes sense, especially given the Bengals' long-standing pass rush needs. And yes, a young quarterback like J.J. McCarthy would almost certainly be part of the conversation. Whether Vikings fans like it or not, that's the reality of trading for an elite QB. There's also an important correction that needs to be made. Claims about the upcoming draft being headlined by specific quarterbacks going first overall are speculative at best and inaccurate at worst. As of now, the next draft class is widely viewed as thinner at quarterback compared to other years, but no draft order or player destination is locked in. Any mention of exact picks and teams should be treated as projection, not fact. That context matters because it affects leverage. A weaker QB class makes Burrow even more valuable to Cincinnati, not less. From the Vikings' perspective, the decision would be brutal. Trading away McCarthy, Greenwood, and multiple first-rounders would strip future flexibility almost overnight. History shows that in most blockbuster trades, the team receiving the pile of assets usually wins long-term, even if the star player performs well. So Minnesota would be betting everything on Burrow staying healthy, the roster staying deep, and the front office hitting on mid-round picks consistently for years. A Bengals-focused voice, Matt Fitzgerald of Stripe Hype, added an interesting layer to the conversation. He suggested Cincinnati might at least listen to offers, especially given the organization's historically conservative financial approach. From a pure business standpoint, rebooting with a rookie quarterback contract, extra first-rounders, and defensive talent could appeal to ownership. That doesn't mean they want to do it, just that they'd answer the phone. Still, Fitzgerald made it clear, fans don't want Burrow gone, and neither does the organization under normal circumstances. Timing is everything here. Trading Burrow before June 1st would hammer Cincinnati with massive dead cap penalties, reportedly over $50 million. Even beyond the raw number, it would actually cost the Bengals cap space in the short term. That alone makes any near-term trade incredibly unrealistic. A more plausible scenario, if one exists at all, would be years down the road, not right now, not this offseason. From the Vikings side, though, the temptation is obvious. Joe Burrow will turn 30 later this year, and quarterbacks at his level often have 5 to 10 elite seasons left. Drop him into Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and a creative offensive system, and the Vikings instantly become Super Bowl contenders. Not playoff hopefuls. Not maybe next year. Legit contenders. But that path comes with serious risk. Minnesota would need to draft perfectly outside the first round for multiple years. They'd need Burrow to stay healthy behind a constantly evolving offensive line. They'd need the defense to reload without premium draft capital. That's a narrow path even for well-run franchises. And this brings us back to reality. Right now, this entire story rests on anonymous sourcing, speculative reporting, and off-season boredom. No official leaks. No credible confirmation. No concrete movement. Just a rumor that refuses to fade because it's exciting. That doesn't make it meaningless, but it does mean Vikings fans should treat it as entertainment, not expectation. Here's the bottom line, Vikings Nation. The Joe Burrow trade talk isn't going away anytime soon, especially if Cincinnati struggles or if Minnesota's quarterback situation remains uncertain. But today, right now, this is far more fantasy than fact. Fun to debate, dangerous to believe. So let me know what you think. Would you pull the trigger on a Burrow trade if you were running the Minnesota Vikings? Or is the price simply too high? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest Minnesota Vikings news, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. Skol forever, and I'll see you in the next one. Purple Heart American Football.